Today, we are going to be comparing the Dyson Corrale cordless flat iron with the Conair Unbound cordless flat iron, a difference of $700 versus $100. We are going to go through the features. We're gonna try it on my crazy head of curly hair. I'm gonna give you the real tea on whether or not this crazy priced iron is worth it. What's going on? My name is Gabby and welcome to Glam Girl Gabby. This is your space to come and learn about realistic beauty and fashion tips for the modern woman. If you're into this type of content, then definitely subscribe down below and let's be friends. I have already done a Dyson Corrale flat iron review where I go through all of its features in depth and I do a tutorial and then I weigh its pros and cons. If you want to watch that video, then definitely click on that video next and then you can get a little bit more in depth into the actual Dyson device. Feature number one, let's talk about its cordless capability. So the Dyson Corral is kind of cool because even though it is cordless, it has a charging dock which looks like this. You plug the charging dock into the wall and then every time you straighten your hair, when you go to section it off, you have a place to dock it. This is actually quite nice because it gives the battery juice as you're working with it. So it's not like it's cordless and then you have no juice. However, if you are in a situation where there's nowhere to plug it in, you do have the option of using it 100% cordless without the dock, without plugging it in, nothing else. If for whatever reason you want to actually plug your Dyson in, you can also plug it into the base here with like a magnetic cord. So you can use it plugged into the wall, or you could use it completely cordless, or you could use it with the base plugged in where you just keep popping it on and off the base as you straighten your hair. We have to admit that this is a perk. This is very cool. This is a great feature that Dyson has. The Conair Unbound, however, it does not have this. So it doesn't have a charging base, and for that type of price, for about $100 Canadian, you wouldn't really expect it to. All it has is a USB cord. So you plug this one end into your straightener right over here, and then you have to find a USB to plug this into. I don't like how they don't actually have the dock to plug into the wall. I found that very, very annoying because my wall docks often don't have a USB option. I'm not really sure why Conair would have chosen to do this. You know, when they could just spend a little bit more money and give us an actual thing to plug into the physical wall. I just find that it makes it annoying trying to find a place to charge it. If we are comparing apples to apples and we are doing both of them unplugged, which is how I'm gonna be demoing it, I don't think it's fair to straighten half my hair with this completely cordless, straighten half of my hair with this while I keep popping it back on its charging dock. That's not fair. So we're doing it completely unplugged for both of them. We're gonna see how they both perform over time. I have to tell you that this lasts for 25 minutes unplugged. The Dyson lasts for 30. So they're pretty on par with their battery life. After 30 minutes with Dyson, you can plug it in and keep going. Whereas with this, you can't. Like, you have got to get your hair done in 25 minutes, that's it. Feature number two is charge time. The Conair said that you need 3 hours to fully charge. So when you first get this, you need to plug it in for 3 hours to give it a full charge. I couldn't find any information anywhere on how long you have to charge it if you use it for 25 minutes and then you need to charge it again. Like, I would assume that you would need another 3 hours if you deplete the battery completely, because how else would that make sense? But again, if you have more information on that, please leave it in the comment section below so that everyone can read and get informed on that. We will see how it goes when I start straightening my hair. The Dyson, on the other hand, is 90% charged within 40 minutes and 100% charged within 70 minutes. So 70 minutes versus 3 hours for the charge time. So Dyson boots up a little bit faster than Conair. Feature number three, let's talk about heat settings. Conair allows you 4 different heat settings to choose from. So they are 280, 320, 360, and 400, whereas the Dyson only gives you 3 heat settings to choose from, and that is 330, 365, and 410. The Dyson does promise that the heat is extremely regulated. It's regulated multiple times in a second. So if you are at a 365, for example, heat setting, then you will stay at that heat setting the whole entire time. It's not gonna go up or go down as the battery life changes. That's, you know, a huge perk, and I think a big part of the reason why the Dyson is so expensive. Feature number 4, let's talk about plates. The Conair is titanium plated. Titanium plates are really great. I use flat irons with titanium plates all the time, and I am all for them. I live for them. The Conair is manganese copper alloy plates. I've never heard of a flat iron that had this type of plate before. One feature that the Conair talks about is that it has flexing plate technology. So what that does is when you sandwich your hair into it, it squeezes your hair kind of neatly and allows you to straighten with less heat more effectively. So that's another big difference between them and kind of makes up for the price change. But really the only thing that matters at the end of the day, after you talk all the logistics, is whether or not it works and if it does a good job of straightening hair. So let's do that right now. We'll do this side of my head with the Dyson, and then we will talk about it. Just so that you guys know, when I am flat ironing my hair, I am moving slowly and consistently, and I only do 2 passes per section. Typically between 1 and 2 passes is more than enough. I have very curly hair, but my hair is actually incredibly fine. It's not like that thick curly hair that a lot of girls have, so I don't need more than 1 or 2 passes at the most. When I edit these clips for you, because watching someone straighten their hair is like watching paint dry, and I don't want to bore you to death, I speed up the clips. I got some comments on my last video that I didn't know how to straighten my hair, that I'm going too fast, that I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I don't go too fast. I know what I'm doing. I've been a licensed hairdresser for 14 years. I'm a senior level stylist. I own my own business. I'm very busy. I have a lot of clients, so I definitely know how to style hair. Just, you know, to get your panties out of a twist. I love you all, and I love all of your comments so much, but I just want you to know that when I am doing this type of work, I am speeding up the clips so that you don't, you know, die of boredom. All right, some final thoughts on the Dyson. Although I definitely think it has a lot of cons, and I go much more into that in my Dyson video. It is an excellent quality iron. It still has about 1/3 of its battery left after doing half my head, which shows me that I could easily finish the other half of my head no problem with it being completely unplugged, not on the charging dock, no outlets anywhere. My hair is very, very smooth and soft. I was able to just give it 2 passes per section. Being that we started with this curly mess, I think it did an excellent job with only 2 passes and still has a lot of battery life. So it's definitely a thumbs up. It's not a perfect iron by any means. There are a lot of things that I don't love about it. And again, I do talk about that in my other video. In terms of right now, what it was able to do, it's definitely 5-star. Let's try the same with my Conair. Right off the bat, I'm noticing that the plates are really, really smooth. I can tell that they're titanium. They have a nice glide to them, but I did have to do several passes to get that section straightened. So yeah, look at that. So I'm noticing that this flat iron is not nearly as hot as the Dyson, even though it claims to be. It's not. I can tell even in my hair, when I touch my hair, it's just not very hot. So it's just taking a lot of passes to get rid of such an intense curl pattern. Yeah. Even though it's so soft, see how it's leaving like quite a bend in the hair? See that? Compared to this. So I'm totally disappointed in it. Again, it's just not straightening very smoothly. Yeah, look at that. It just doesn't seem to be as hot. And actually when I even touch my hair, it feels like it's got a little bit of like warmth to it, but it's by no means hot. So I just think that the flat iron itself isn't getting hot. There's just no way it's at 400. There's no way. Like look at, I went through that, what, 4 times? This is just not doing it. This is just not doing it. This really sucks. Another thing that sucks is I'm thinking, like, even though I charged it for a long time, maybe the battery is not fully charged, but there's no way to check that because there's no battery gauge here. Like there's nothing that tells me how much battery I have left. Whereas with my Dyson, I know right away when I'm running out of battery. So I either have to like move faster or I have to charge it or boot it up for a bit. That was really careless of Conair to not put that in. I just feel like that's something that everyone would appreciate knowing. That's not even like a stylist being picky. That's just like, how do you know? You know, when the thing isn't performing or not being hot, how do you know that's why? I'm not even going to continue. I'll just do this section to show you one more time, but there's no point because there's no way this is going to flat iron the very curly top section of my hair. And you can see the difference really between that and that. This is bone straight, this is not, it's just not doing it. All right, since I know for sure that I'm not gonna be able to get it straight because it has not, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish straightening with my Dyson. We'll see if the Dyson lasts the rest of the head, and then we'll be back to do a little summary. All right, so as a little update, I was able to finish straightening the rest of my hair with the Dyson. Right at the very end, it gave me a little beep, which is a little warning that the battery is almost done. I have about 1/3 left. So basically it's telling me to wrap it up or to plug it in. I didn't even get a quarter of my hair done with the Conair Unbound straightener. So, you know what, my thoughts on this are an interesting one. The cordless straightener world, I think, still has a long way to go. I think that we still have a lot that we can learn about battery life, consistent heat, everything. I think Dyson is the best cordless iron that I have used. Conair is absolutely not worth $100. We are comparing apples to oranges here since Dyson is just so much more money. You can't really compare it to something that's 7 times cheaper, but I don't even think this is worth $100. I think you can get a $100 flat iron that's significantly better. Despite the fact that it's not cordless, it's still much better. Whereas this one, like, I just don't know what you could do with it unless you had straight hair and was just using it for extra smoothing, which I know a lot of girls do. If you don't want to fuss with the cord, you already have straight hair, you're doing touch-ups with it, then it may be okay. But for $100, I still don't think it's worth that price. So unfortunately, I don't think either of these are a huge hit for me, but I do feel like without a doubt, Dyson 100% wins. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see some other product reviews, then check out these videos next. And if you want to subscribe, then hit that tiny little button in the corner. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next week. Bye.